Good morning. Myself, Mr. Dibyendu Mondal, Assistant Professor of Mechanical Engineering Department of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management under GIS Group. Today, I am going to discuss about Hooke's Law. This is the subject of solid mechanics. This is my lecture number 5 of module 2, second module. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Now, let's start. Today I am going to discuss about Hooke's law and elastic moduli. Hooke's law states that when a material is loaded within the elastic limit, the stress is proportional to the strain produced by the stress. This means the ratio of the stress to the corresponding strain is a constant within the elastic limit. So Hooke's law states within elastic limit it is applicable. This constant is known as modulus of elasticity or Young's modulus or modulus of elasticity or Young's modulus. The ratio of tensile stress or compressive stress to the corresponding strain is a constant. This ratio is known as Young's modulus or modulus of elasticity, is denoted by capital E. Actually, E that is equal to stress by strain. Okay, either it is tensile stress by tensile strain or it is compressive stress by compressive strain. So capital E is equal to sigma by small e or epsilon. Another one is the modulus of rigidity or shear modulus. The ratio of shear stress to the corresponding shear strain within the elastic limit is known as the modulus of rigidity or shear modulus. It is denoted by capital C or capital G or N, capital N. Shear stress by shear strain. So shear stress is represented by tau and shear strain is represented by phi. So let us define the factor of safety also. First one, factor of safety, it is defined as the ratio of ultimate tensile stress to the working or permissible stress. Mathematically, it is written as factor of safety ultimate stress by permissible stress. Actually, factor of safety, it is defined as the ratio of ultimate tensile stress to the working or permissible stress. Mathematically, it is written as ultimate stress by permissible stress. Constitutive relationship between stress and strain for one-dimensional stress system. The relationship between stress and strain for an unidirectional stress, that is normal stress in one direction only, is given by Hooke's law, which states that when material is loaded within elastic limit, the normal stress developed is proportional to the strain produced. This means that the ratio of the normal stress to the corresponding strain is constant within the elastic limit. This constant is represented by capital E and known as modulus of elasticity or Young's modulus of elasticity. One is the normal stress corresponding strain, that is equal to constant. So sigma by E, that is equal to capital E. E is equal to sigma by capital E. The above equation gives the stress and strain relation for the normal stress in one direction. For two-dimensional stress system, before knowing the relationship between stresses and strain for two-dimensional stress system, we shall have to define longitudinal strain, lateral strain and Poisson ratio. Longitudinal strain, actually longitudinal strain when the body is subjected to an axial tensile load, there is an increase in the length of the body, but at the same time there is a decrease in other dimensions of the body at right angles to the line of action of the applied load. Thus, the body is having axial deformation and also deformation at right angles to the line of action of the applied load, that is the lateral deformation. The ratio of axial deformation to the original length of the body is known as longitudinal strain. The longitudinal strain is also defined as a deformation of the body per unit length. Capital L is equal to length of the body, P is equal to tensile force acting on the body, delta L increase in the length of the body in the direction of P. Longitudinal strain, that is equal to del L by L. Lateral strain, the strain at right angles to the direction of the applied load is known as lateral strain. Let a rectangular bar of length L and breadth B and depth D is subjected to an axial tensile load capital P as shown in figure. The length of the bar will increase while the breadth and depth will decrease. Delta L, that is the increase in length, delta B, that is the decrease in breadth, delta D, decrease in depth. Then longitudinal strain, that is equal to del L by L. Lateral strain, del V by B or del D by D. So, if you follow the diagram, one is the B, another one is the D diameter, and after applying the compressive stress, compression, B becomes B minus delta B and D becomes D minus delta D. So, here L plus delta L and here P plus P. P is the applied force. Now, Poisson ratio. If longitudinal strain is tensile, the lateral strain will be compressive. Very important. One is elongation, one is longitudinal elongation, another one will be compressive. If longitudinal strain is compressive, then lateral strain will be tensile. Hence, every longitudinal strain in the direction of load is accompanied by lateral strain of the opposite kind in all directions perpendicular to the load. Poisson ratio, the ratio of lateral strain to the longitudinal strain is constant for a given material when the material is stressed within the elastic limit. This ratio is called Poisson ratio and it is generally denoted by mu. Hence, mathematically, Poisson ratio mu is equal to lateral strain by longitudinal strain. Lateral strain, that is equal to mu into longitudinal strain. As lateral strain is opposite in sign to longitudinal strain, hence algebraically lateral strain is written as lateral strain is equal to minus mu into longitudinal strain. So, one is positive, another one is negative. Very important, longitudinal strain is tensile, the lateral strain will be compressive. Relationship between stress and strain. Relationship between stress and strain. Consider two-dimensional figure A, B, C, D subjected to two mutually perpendicular stresses sigma 1 and sigma 2. sigma 1 is equal to normal stress in x direction, sigma 2 is equal to normal stress in y direction. The stress sigma 1 will produce strain in the direction of x and also in the direction of y. The strain in the direction of x will be longitudinal strain and will be equal to sigma 1 by capital E, whereas the strain in the direction of y will be lateral strain and will be equal to minus mu into sigma 1 by E. So strain in the, now consider the strain produced by sigma 2. The stress sigma 2 will produce strain in the direction of y and also in the direction of x. The strain in the direction of y will be longitudinal strain and will be equal to sigma 2 by E, whereas the strain in the direction of x will be lateral strain and will be equal to minus mu into sigma 2 by capital E. E1 is equal to total strain in x direction, E2 is equal to total strain in y direction. Now, total strain in the direction of x due to stresses sigma 1 and sigma 2, sigma 1 by E minus mu into sigma 2 by E. Similarly, total strain in the direction of y due to stresses sigma 1 and sigma 2, sigma 2 by E minus mu into sigma 1 by E. Okay, so sigma 1 is equal to sigma E1 is equal to sigma 1 by E minus mu into sigma 2 by E. E2 is equal to sigma 2 by E, okay, minus mu into sigma 1 by E. Therefore, similarly, you follow the three-dimensional stress. Okay, three-dimensional body subjected to this one. Okay, the actually here first one, this one is the one important thing is the Poisson ratio, lateral strain by longitudinal strain. Okay, lateral, so mu into lateral strain by longitudinal strain. If one increasing, another one obviously decreasing. That is the main point. Okay, and one relationship, and then one numerical problem. Find the minimum diameter of steel wire which is used to raise a load of 4000 Newton if the stress in the rod is not exceed 95 meganewton per meter square. Here P is equal to 4000 Newton, sigma is equal to 95 meganewton per meter square, 95 into 10 to the power 6 Newton per meter square. Capital D is equal to diameter of wire in millimeter. Capital A is equal to pi by 4 into D square. Stress is equal to load by area. So that is equal to P by A. So 95 is equal to 4000 divided by pi by 4 into D square. 4000 into 4 divided by pi D square. Okay, actually P is given, sigma is equal to 95 meganewton per meter square, this one. So D square is equal to 53.61. So capital D is equal to 7.32 millimeter. Another one problem, find the Young's modulus of brass rod of diameter 25 millimeter and length is equal to 250 millimeter, which is subjected to tensile load of 50 kilonewton when extension of the rod is equal to 0.3 millimeter. So, Young's modulus of brass rod. Diameter of the rod capital D is equal to 25 millimeter. Area of the rod capital A is equal to pi by 4 into 25 square. Capital P is equal to tensile load capital P is equal to 50 kilonewton. So 50 into 1000, that is equal to 50,000 Newton. DL, extension of rod DL is equal to 0.3 millimeter. Length of the rod L is equal to 250 millimeter. Stress is given by the equation sigma is equal to P by A, 50,000 divided by 490.87, 101.86 Newton per millimeter square. E is given by the equation dl by L. So 0.3 divided by 250. Using the Young's modulus is obtained, E is equal to stress by strain. So stress is equal to 101.86 Newton per millimeter square divided by 0.0012, that is equal to 84. After calculation, that is equal to Newton per millimeter square. Okay, Newton per millimeter square. So that is equal to 84.883 into 10 to the power 9 Newton per meter square. 84.883 giganewton per meter square. Okay. Now the tensile test was conducted by a mild steel. Diameter of the steel bar 3 cm. Gauge length of the bar 20 cm. Load at elastic limit 250 kilonewton. Extension at a load 150 kilonewton. Maximum load 380 kilonewton. Total extension 60 millimeter. Diameter of the rod at the failure 2.25 centimeter. So the Young's modulus, the stress at elastic limit, the percentage. First one is the area of the rod, capital A, pi by 4 into d square, pi by 4 into 3 square, 7.0685 centimeter square. So 7.0685 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. To find Young's modulus, first calculate the value of stress and strain within elastic limit. The load at elastic limit is given, but the extension corresponding to the load at elastic limit is not given. But the load of 150 kilonewton, which is within elastic limit, and corresponding extension of 0.21 millimeter. Hence, these values are used for stresses and strain within the elastic limit. Actually, stress is equal to load by area. So 150 into 1000 divided by 7.0685 into 10 to the power minus 4. Strain is equal to increase in length divided by original length. Young's modulus, capital E, is equal to stress by strain. 0.9 into 10 to the power 4 divided by 0.00105. So after calculating, you get the result. Then the stress at the elastic limit is given by stress is equal to load at elastic limit 250 into 1000 divided by 7.0685 into 10 to the power minus 4. 35368 into 10 to the power 4 Newton per meter square. The percentage of elongation is obtained as total increase in length divided by original length or gauge length into 100. So 60 millimeter divided by 20 into 10 millimeter into 100. So that is equal to 30%. The percentage decrease in area is obtained, percentage decrease original area minus area at the failure divided by original area. Okay, that is the formula into 100%. So after calculating you get first one original area, then area at the failure, 43.75%. after calculation you get the result. Okay. Okay. Thank you. This is the end of my lecture. If you like my lecture, you have to subscribe my channel, and if feel free, you may contact anytime to clear your doubt, okay, through mail or through WhatsApp or through mobile phone. Okay, thank you.